What to say and what not to say to somebody with a mental illness. What to say to someone with a mental illness. 1. Do you want to talk about it? I'm always here for you. Even if you don't entirely understand what your friend or loved one is going through, you can still be there for them in a healthy, supportive way. Listen to them without judgment and make sure they know they're not alone. It's also important to let your loved one lead the conversation so you're able to talk about topics they feel comfortable discussing. Follow and support rather than lead and advise. 2. What can I do to help? If your loved one has had depression or anxiety for a while, chances are they probably know what does and does not help them. Even if they just need help with something simple like laundry or grocery shopping, offering them help lets them know you care. 3. That sounds really difficult. How are you coping? Acknowledging how they feel is both validating and comforting. It reminds your friend that you are listening to them, that you believe that what they're going through is real, and that you want to help them cope. 4. Let's go somewhere quiet or take a walk. In times of extreme anxiety, it can help to try a grounding activity like going for a walk or finding a peaceful place to talk. Grounding activities can be done alone or with another person and may include listening to music or enjoying a soothing scent. I have those diffusers where you put the water in and you put the essential oils in and you turn those and they produce steam and scent, and they really work good. They're very relaxing. I like vanilla and lavender, and there's another one that I'm not sure. But 5. I'm really sorry you're going through this. I'm here for you if you need me. Remind them that their feelings are valid and that you want to support them. 6. Are you looking for my perspective, or would you rather I listen? Clarify which type of support they would like and let them know that you will not judge them. If they want your insights, it's helpful to begin with something like, I don't know if this applies, but I'm wondering about. What not to say to someone with a mental illness. It's just as important to understand what responses may be unhelpful or worse, damaging to someone who has opened up to you. Try your best to avoid the following responses. 1. I know what you mean. I had a panic attack when I saw my electric bill. Who doesn't? This attempt at relating to what your loved one is going through is kind-hearted but also misguided. Relating their panic attacks to your probably small anxiety about a regular expense misses the mark because it implies that those two things are the same or of similar consequence and minimizes their pain. Even if you have an anxiety disorder, suggesting that they can just do what you do that they can just do what you did when you were anxious in stigmatizing. 2. Have you tried yoga or meditation? One of the most pervasive misconceptions about mental health is that yoga, meditation, and other wellness trends can cure depression and other mental health conditions. While these practices are certainly a helpful supplement to treatment for many people, only your friend knows if it is right for them. Asking what options to see for themselves if the person says they feel like they have no options. You can ask permission to share some ideas you've heard that may make sense to them. 3. Why aren't you seeing a therapist? Or why aren't you on medication? Well, it's fine to show concern for a friend. Remarks like these can come across as accusatory. Some words I just can't get, especially when I'm on here and I'm a little bit nervous. Sorry. Again, if the person says they feel like they have no options, you might say, I always hear that therapy and medication. What are your thoughts on those? Remember that this is a decision that is ultimately theirs to make. 4. Are you okay? This question can make your loved one feel pressured to get better immediately, which is rarely the case for mental health. They may also feel some social pressure to tell you they're fine, even if they're not, and it's not true. And I do that, if you just say, oh, I'm fine, oh, I'm good, I'm great, it puts the brakes on reality. You don't want to talk about it, because you talk about it and it just leads to more questions. And yeah. 5. There are lots of people who have it much worse than you. Remarks like this encourage your loved one to compare themselves to others, which can cause confusion as to whether their struggle is valid or not. You should encourage them to let go of comparing themselves to others and instead focus on what's best for them. 6. Would you feel this way if mental health issues mental health issues and their causes are complex, and many people wear themselves out emotionally by searching for causes of their suffering. Placing blame leads to unnecessary distress and takes time from increasing understanding of what is going on. So I guess don't ask, don't tell. No, the thing with that, people asking if you're okay and things like that, it shows concern, but yet, to me, mental illness, and this is just me, is embarrassing. I don't like being like this. I don't like feeling like this. I don't like the ramifications, if you want to call it that. I don't like the side effects. I don't like the side effects from the medication. I don't want to be like this. It's miserable. You do feel alone because you have this idea of there's no way anybody else can feel this way. But yet, there are probably millions of people who feel this way. And the thing is, there's probably a lot of people who feel this way in the closet, meaning they don't get help, they just suffer through it. They don't do anything about it because they're too scared, they're too ashamed, they're too embarrassed. They don't want to admit that they're not perfect. And that's sad, because the way I was before I got help, I was miserable. And not miserable from mental illnesses. I was miserable from faking it, from pretending, from, I'm okay, don't worry about me. I'm having a great time. I was drinking. I wasn't an alcoholic, but I would drink to cover up the pain. I would drink to be more funny than I already am. Now I don't drink at all. Because my therapist and doctors told me that will just make matters worse. I understand that. All my therapist told me was that if I drink alcohol with my Xanax, it's just gonna make matters worse. But she explained it to me, and I can't remember the words she used, but she made it sound like it would make the Xanax work better. Not that it would work less, because that's what I've read, that it wouldn't work as good. So my glasses drive me crazy. I need new ones, and we've been down here for over a year, and I don't know where to go get them. I have to call my insurance company or whoever back and find out where I can get new glasses. I know I'm going off topic, because I really, that topic, this topic is actually really confusing. I've been bipolar and I've had mental illnesses. I believe I was diagnosed bipolar in 2010, but I know that I had mental issues before that, and I tried to brush it off. I'm disabled in a lot of different ways, and I tell certain people, will say, what's the nature of your disability? You in my face, and if you don't get out of my face, you're gonna become disabled. I'm just kidding. Maybe. I always have to put maybe in there because it's my disclaimer. But no, seriously, when people hear you're disabled and you just say, oh, I have bipolar, and then I'm lucky, sort of, to blame my knee. But if you tell them you have bipolar, and I mentioned this in my last video and I didn't get to finish the thought because I have borderline as well. You start a thought, you get part of the thought out, and then another thought comes along, and you never finish that previous thought. And my thought was, people hear you're bipolar and they think you're stupid. Well, I know people who are a lot more stupid than me, and I'm actually very smart. I know about a lot of things, and if I don't know about something that interests me, I Google it and I research it, and it's one of those nights where I just want to go back and forth. I slept finally again. I can't remember what time I got up, and maybe it was 10, not sure. And you're confused, is it day or night? You don't know. Do I have to get up and feed my dragons? I mean, those are like my priorities. Everybody else can fend for themselves. In other words, you know, David can throw some food in the dog and cat dishes and they're fine. Throw some water in there and they're good. And they can roam around and eat. And I'm totally getting off topic. But this is, besides asking somebody who has a mental illness how they are, this includes that. This is part of it. I'm fine. Am I lying to myself? Probably. But You know, the bearded dragons can't get out and get to the refrigerator and get their food. Well, I mean, the dogs can't go and get their food either, but they're far from starving. Dogs and cats are very much more resilient. Bearded dragons are much more delicate, in my opinion, even though they've jumped off me to the floor and went splat. Now I feel bad because I dropped them. I didn't drop them. They jumped, and I'm sticking to it. But, you know, there's a lot of things that mental illnesses really inhibit you from doing. Showering, taking care of things, vacuuming. It just kind of inhibits your energy. It zaps the energy out of you. That's half of bipolar, you know? Then there's the other half that makes you manic. And then it's, God damn it, why didn't you wipe the counters down? I told you after every time you cook, you have to wipe the counters down to get the crumbs off, to keep the, you know, the ants off the counter. We don't have ants anymore, but we did. And, you know, I go from one extreme to another, and it's because they don't know me down here. They don't know how to control my medication. They don't know my personality. They don't know me, and it sucks. Even my own therapist, I've been going to him now for almost a year. I don't know why my hair looks red. I don't know if it looks red in the... I'm goofy. I don't know if it looks red in the actual videos or not. I haven't noticed, because last night was a rough night, and I think I did some good videos last night, and this is not where I want it to be. I'm in a goofy mood. David went to bed, and he took the dogs with him, so they won't be bothering me. I'm having trouble coming up with content, and I've got like 60 some videos. You can only talk about music, you can only talk about bipolar, you can only talk about borderline personality disorder. I have ones with adult estranged children. I like my other channel. It's got fun puppies, it's got my bearded dragons, it's got our old roommate getting arrested. Sadly, he ended up passing away. And I don't know if I can say sadly, because his family, they were enablers. And who was it? Oh, I know, I was saying somebody that we know, and I don't know what's up with her, but we say if anybody's bipolar, it's her, because she will go. It's like you can see it. I don't know if she actually is, but when you're bipolar and when you have mental illness and illnesses, you can actually see it in other people, and other people don't know that they have it. Well, what are you supposed to say to them? That's like this video, what to say and what not to say to somebody with mental illness. I've got, holy crap, I am just all over the place tonight. But do you say to them, you know, have you seen a doctor or a psychiatrist, because I think he might be bipolar. And the thing is with David, I suspected him as bipolar too, and our doctor ended up talking to his sister, and he ended up being bipolar 1, but I swear he's bipolar 2. I don't really know the difference, I forgot. But I have ants in my pants tonight. I got up late. Well, I got up when I got up, and I kind of screwed around. And usually I do all my thinking in the shower, and I was just thinking, we got a new shower head. This thing, you can get in and out of the shower in 2 minutes, because it pulverizes the hell out of you and gets all the soap off you in a real hurry, and your showers are really short. and I like it because I'm a bath person and we don't have a bathtub. So I'm forced to take a shower. That was so pathetic. But, I'm rambling. I haven't taken my medication correctly in quite some time because of my sleeping habits. If I get up at a certain time, I won't take it because I know that I'll be taking it in a few hours. So I don't take it. So then I take it really late and it throws it all off. It's just all messy. And then now my thing is acting weird. So anyway, I will leave it at that. You know what? I'm sure you can think of some other things of not to say to somebody who has mental illness, or being supportive in what you can say. Hey, you know, you're down. I can see that you're feeling down. Would you like to go shopping and look around a little bit? Would you like to go to... It depends on your friends. I mean, I was about to say, would you like to go to the pet store and play with the lizards? Or the snakes? You know, something like that. But if you have good friends and they know you really well, they will know what you would like to go do. I know that we used to have my friend over on Saturdays, and we would play board games and trivia games, and we used to have a lot of fun doing that. That helped our mood tremendously. And I know that she has seasonal depression, so she tends not to talk to anybody. So she would come over, and I know it would help her tremendously that we would do these activities. And of course, then once spring came around, we wouldn't see her anymore. So it's pretty sad. That took, that really took our friendship and made it nosedive. It's pretty sad. But as for what to say and what not to say to somebody who's bipolar, is kind of like going to a funeral and saying, I'm sorry for your loss. You have my condolences. My theory is, don't say anything. The worst you can say is, I know how you feel. The fuck you do. Unless you can go into my brain, you have no idea how I feel. You have no idea what I'm thinking. I've been really feisty lately. I'm trying to keep my head above water with a depression. I'm trying. And it seems to get worse and worse. Because winters, I don't know if it's just me, winters seem to get worse and worse. But I try to occupy my time by cooking, by torturing my bearded dragons. And I say that because Java, my baby, she's still young and very feisty, and she acts like she's gonna bite you. And I remember reading something about come at them, don't try to pick them up from the back, try to scoop them from the front, like under their neck. And I've been doing that with her, and now she doesn't even try to bite me. So it must be working. I should do more. I was gonna do a channel on them, but there's so many channels about bearded dragons and lizards and things like that that I decided not to. I decided to do a channel that makes me think about myself and my dilemmas. I want to talk more on my channel, more about, this is my channel, stupid. See, I get flustered. I want to talk more about estranged adult estranged children, but what really is there to say? I see topics and I'm like, that doesn't apply. So that causes a lot of depression of being away from my children. So don't ask me how my kids are, you know, when it came to this topic, on what to say and what not to say and what to ask and what not to ask. Don't go there. So I hope you have a good night.